Hi cuties, besties, and ghosties. This is Muertera. Welcome to my channel, Muertera. I am so happy to have you here. To all of my returning folks, hello, I missed you. To my new folks, where you been? I'm so excited to have you here. Hopefully you'll stick around. So today we are going to do a really fun reading in honor of Halloween week. All about your boo. So this reading can apply to our single folks as well as our folks in a relationship and everything in between. We will, really talk about who this person is, what their dynamic is with you, what your relationship is going to look like. I'm filming this at the end of the pile, so I can tell you they're very cute and I love them. And every reading was honestly kind of a delight to do. I started off just honestly freeforming on these cards. I was really drawn to pick cards today instead of piles, so just went with that vibe and rolled with it. The reading is pretty standard for what I normally do. So on the left, we'll ask about your person. On the right, we'll ask about you. This really is going to focus in on your dynamic more so than anything else. And then we'll pull tarot and we'll ask about how this relationship is going to help your spiritual growth and how you'll be changing on the 3D as well. At the end, just as a little bonus for our single folks, I'll pick some charms and kind of try to get a vibe of how you will meet this person when you're out and about. So yeah, super excited about this. If you've never done a pick a pile reading before, then we're going to have a section where I'll play a singing bowl and you can kind of set with the energy. I'll explain the crystals and a little bit about the cards, although I do read them in the reading too, so I probably won't read the full things, just so I'm not kind of duplicating work and making you sit through the same thing twice. And then once you're ready to choose a pile, you can click in the description and there should be a timestamp for you. So if I don't see you in the next pick a pile section, then I hope I will see you in your reading. Okay, bye. Hi cuties. Okay, let's roll through your piles. So first we have 555. I am optimistic. And it comes with this little red carnelian. Red carnelian is about being bold and taking chances, and it's just a very joyful stone. Our second pile is number 17. I am independent. We have rhodonite on it, which is a very heart-centered stone. It's a combination of it's like pink with black occlusions. Black is always a very grounding color in stones for me. So definitely will get you kind of settled in your heart space. And then we have our third pile, number 26. I am tactful. And we have red jasper. Red jasper is a very earthy stone, great for getting in touch with the elements, getting in touch with our ancestors. If you have indigenous ties, it can be really important to indigenous people as well. So those are our three piles. I'm going to play my singing bowl now. And yeah, hopefully you'll have enough time to pick a pile, and I'll talk to you in a second. Okay, friends. So at this time, we're going to just call on our spirits, ask them to come join us in this reading to provide safety, a safe place to receive messages for our greatest purpose, and to help us navigate life and create a really beautiful and joyous life. So we've got water for the muertos as well as candies. And I just want to say thank you, all spirits and ancestors that walk with us. Thank you for guiding us, and thank you for providing guidance in this reading. Okay, well, friends, I will see you in your reading. Go ahead and click down in the description. Okay, bye. Hi, Pile Ones. If you chose this I Am Optimistic card and this red carnelian, then this is your pile. Okay, so let's start off by reading out this card. 555, a major shift is about to come into your life. Experience and change your path's direction. Be open and stay positive. I am optimistic. So what I'm feeling for this group in particular, do you see how much this flame is jumping right now? I feel like you're about to get kind of like a surge of new energy, of new beginnings, new open doors. It's really, it feels very happy, very light. I think for some of you, this is like opening the next phase into your life. Man, I didn't even talk about like the format of this reading. I got straight into this. I'm very excited. Like I'm very like ready to go. And I feel like that's kind of the energy around you right now. Like, so people who are in a relationship right now, like I do feel like this is really like your partner kind of coming in and like ready to take the next step. For those of you who are maybe still looking for love right now, like I feel like whoever is coming into your life, and there is somebody coming into your life, that person is going to bring like a breath of fresh air, and it's going to be very welcome. I feel like for a lot of you, it's kind of change after a long period of maybe like going through partners that weren't really suited for you, or even maybe a lull in dating. It kind of feels that way as well. Like this is something that comes in that's like really bright and really different than what you've been experiencing. Okay. Well, now that I'm through that kind of just, I don't know, initial rampage, let's talk about the format of this reading. So I'm going to be kind of like free-flowing, pulling cards. I have a little bit of an outline in mind. I will do an energy check, talking about the person that I guess like you could be in a relationship with them, or, you know, this could be a new person on the left. And then on the right, typically I'll read this as your current energy. I want this reading to kind of suit everybody. So this could be somebody that you're already in a connection with. This could be somebody that you are about to be in a connection with. But really this is suited for a relationship that's going to kind of like stay for a long time. It might not be like your end all soulmate, but it may be, you know, a soulmate that you're hanging out with along the way. And I'm going to pull a lot of energy cards just to see kind of what your dynamic is going to look like, what they're going to be bringing into your life. This Kindle has not stopped popping. It's kind of going a little nuts. I don't know. And then we'll dig into tarot and just get a little bit more clarity about your journey and what's going to be going on. I'll wrap up as well with charms. I want to try a new thing this time. I haven't used my charms in a while because the last time I feel like I asked like a weird question with them. But I want to ask like what's the situation you're going to meet this person? Or maybe if you're already in this connection, like that might just be like confirmation that this is this person. But take that as it resonates. If you were already in a connection and those don't seem to vibe, that's totally okay. I feel like that question might be a little bit more for single people kind of waiting for this person to come in. But yeah, I'm really excited about this reading. Clearly the muertos are as well. So let's get into it. Okay, to start off, I am going to pull some oracles. I mean, I'll use tarot for some of this, but for you and your person. So for your person, we have the Four of Wands. Or no, the Four of Swords. Sorry, that deck's a little bit different. And then for you, we have Gros Bon Ange, the Sun. This pile just seems like so kind of just beautiful and balanced to me. Like there are just going to be a lot of just sparks and honestly just so much warmth coming out between the two of you. I think throughout your entire relationship too, like, I think this might be a change for both of you. Like we have 5, 5, 5. Fives are always change. We have 3 here. This may be the first time you've experienced this truly in a relationship where you just feel very safe and very comfortable with this person, and very light. Like there doesn't seem to be a lot of super heavy energy going between you. And that doesn't mean that like you're not necessarily coming to the situation without baggage, right? Like I feel like the person who's coming into your life, like they have a lot of people who depend on them. They have a lot of responsibilities, but you may have found like in the past that other people with kind of similar energy tended to deprioritize you. And this person's bringing you along for the ride and seems like a ride or die person. Like, nope, this is it for me. Like, you're my person. You're my family now. I'm going to take care of you. Like, I'm getting a kind of like strong protector, provider energy from this person. For you, I feel like, you know, one thing about this Gros Bon Ange card, this is the Sun in this deck, but it has all these like little babies that are kind of like nestled up. And in this deck, the Star is a little baby. I feel like for you, like many people have come into your life and there were like a lot of like false starts or really like promising new things that you thought were gonna like work out one way and maybe like life took a left turn. And I feel like this isn't just for romantic life. This might be just kind of you in general as well. And I think like this is something that you can really like lean into and rely on. And I think that's going to be an uncomfortable feeling for you, but also something that's like very, very freeing. Like the Sun is kind of like bursting from its seams. I feel like you're going to be able to access things in this relationship that you just like weren't able to before, because you didn't have that safety and security of having someone here that you could rely on, that you could lean on, that if you said, hey, like, can you come over and help me with this? Like, they'd be there. I'm moving this weekend. They bring like 3 friends to come help you move. Like that seems like the type of person that you're either with or is coming into your life. Let's get a little bit more about like the situation. I want these to be like, I'm getting just the sweetest like message from these cards. Like the Force can talk about kind of getting lost, and then you have this gem here, and I feel like this person knows your value. This person feels like they just like stumbled upon a gem without having done anything to deserve it. And I think that's part of the reason why like they are like ride or die for you. They're so grateful to have you in their life. Yeah, I didn't really have like a question in mind when I pulled these cards, to be honest. So I'm just gonna let like whatever comes out here. Like you almost feel like you're kind of their North Star. This person might like to go camping. They might like to just kind of like stargaze with you. You know, even if you're not a camping person, like I'm kind of like getting the vibe of like cozy in a blanket with a cup of like hot chocolate, just kind of hanging out and enjoying each other's company. There's also this kind of energy of unexpected riches. And this person feels like they stumbled on you, this gem in their life, but then it also feels like in this relationship, they're kind of like accessing pieces of themselves that they didn't really like know we're awake and we're beautiful like that. And I'm kind of being called to like the reflection between this gem, and it looks like it's really reflecting the sky. And you're the sun here. Like, I feel like the rays of the sun are like illuminating parts of their life that they didn't really realize were even there or were even valuable. I feel like there's one thing that's really jumping out to me for this relationship is I feel like there's going to be a lot of like positive reinforcement between the two of you. And I feel like the more that you are positive to one another, like the more it's going to increase that within the relationship. Like, there seems to be like a like reflection or like mirroring aspect of this relationship that's very, very positive, which is really amazing to see. Like, you're gonna like get as much as you give. So this is also really cool. I'm kind of liking the parallels that I'm seeing across these two sides. Like, again, I feel like there's a lot of like really positive mirroring here. I see for you, like, this relationship is going to really help you put more trust in the universe. And there is like a certain degree of like relaxing some like maybe like self-reliant tendencies. So we have a gape. A gape can be about really like trusting in the universe, trusting in universal energy, like recentering your focus and joy to spirituality as opposed to like focusing on self. And we also have the self in reverse here. And like, I don't know, something about these two cards. I feel like before you may have like felt a little bit like you're like clammed up a little bit. There's a pearl at the center of this card. We also have the gem here. And these colors are kind of like echoed across all of these cards. I'm going to try to verbalize specifically what I'm feeling right now. It feels like this relationship is really busting you open in a lot of ways. And I think like you may, because you have all these cards that have all these like radiating out, you know, like the sun is radiating out, the self is radiating out, a gate. I feel like for a long time, and this may be because like maybe you did have a lot of false starts or like not so great relationships. I feel like you have the tendency to kind of wall yourself off, and you may have like coping mechanisms like hyper independence. Like, okay, well, if I can't rely on anybody else, I'm going to rely on myself. I'm going to do it on my own. And I feel you truly. I think that this relationship is going to be so beautiful for you because it is going to be almost a relaxing of these tendencies and kind of like a breath out for you to really take stock of how you're living your life and decide what you want to do instead. I feel like that's kind of like a squishy way to put it, but I think the core of it is you're going to be opening yourself up to a lot of new experiences and a lot of new ways of being because you have a very stable person and a reliable person in your life that you know when you call them, they're going to be there. There's no question about it. You don't have to do the whole like dance of, oh, should I even bother reaching out and asking them, or should I just do it myself? That's not even going to be a question for this. And so I feel like it is going to kind of like reorient your perspective from I am the only one who's going to help me in my life to, oh, wow, now I have like a whole nother human and this is an actual relationship. Like, world is made for two. I got two people now. Which is just like super beautiful energy. I'm just really digging all of this. Trying to think what else I want to pull. I think I want to pull some cards for kind of like shadow energies that you're going to be kind of bringing up with this relationship. Let's see what pops out. Okay, that was kind of a lot. But we have familiar. It says listen and learn. I think we need a vanity crystal over here. Okay. I do think you are going to be learning, again, like new methods of connecting in a relationship. I think the person that you are connecting with is going to be, again, like working on integrating you into their life as opposed to like I feel like they used to have kind of like a balancing act when they interacted in relationships, and it never really quite like integrated for them. Like it wasn't like, oh, this person is family now. It was kind of like, oh, I'm going to go spend time with my girlfriend, and then I'm going to go spend time with my family, and then I'm going to go spend time with my friends. And I think that you're going to be different where it's like, oh, well, like we're just going to like go kick it with whoever. And it doesn't matter like what group or setting they're going into, like you're just going to kind of fit naturally into their life. And it isn't going to be this like game around prioritization. It's kind of like, this is my relationship. Like, you know, I don't have to like fit it into a mold so it fits into my life. Like this just is my life and it works. I think for you, the listening and learning part is going to be like letting this person in and just relaxing and saying, hey, like, yeah, I do need help. Or I do want to come with you when you go hang out with your friends. And I think just having like a good kind of interplay between the two of you. I feel like this is a pile where, again, there's like a lot of love and respect. And with that comes kind of graceful communication. I'm kind of looking at this card and it's like a cat's head on a person's body. Like you are two different people. You view the world differently. You have very, very different energies. There's mirroring across it, but I don't think this is a pile where it's just like, you know, like tomato and tomato, like you're tomato and tomato. And you may have disagreements at times, but I think the really strong foundation here is really going to allow you to like flow with those changes and find middle ground a lot. And it does feel like you may be coming from pretty different walks of life, pretty different beginnings, pretty different mentalities, but something about the way that you kind of hold space for each other and interact with each other and really love each other just like opens up a whole new world of possibilities for you, where you're able to really like, I don't know, I'm hearing like two become one, you know, like you're really integrated and you're kind of moving in the same direction. Yeah. So this was kind of a lot for an energy check, but I'm really vibing with this. So let's move on to tarot and get a little bit more information. And I think for this, on the top row, I'm going to ask about, I want to do like spiritually, and then down here kind of like physically what this relationship is going to look like. And we already have the Empress coming out, like, shut up. Beautiful. So distracted I can't shuffle. Okay, that was a lot. I shouldn't have done it. Okay. Okay, Spirit, what can you tell me about pile one's relationship with their boo? Okay, well, I'm going to take both of those because they're just popping out. So we have the King of Rods. We have the Seven of Rods as well. And we have Judgment in reverse. We have the Worlds. I think that feels good. Let's do 4 and 4. Okay. And then kind of on the physical realm. Oh, wow. That's too many. That's too many. It's kind of funny. We got like the Star and the Magician right there too. Okay, we have the Chariot. And we have the Six of Swords in reverse. We have the Ten of Pence, and we have the Hangman in reverse, and the Queen of Swords. Okay, so I do feel like communication is really going to be kind of a center point for this relationship. You know, you have this like big, like joyous foundation for your love, but you are diverse people, and some of your goals at first like might be kind of slightly in conflict with one another. And it's not, I don't want to say conflict like it's bad conflict. It's not bad conflict, right? Like, it feels like this is kind of the first really healthy relationship that you've both been in. And so your dynamics and just kind of like expectations for interacting in a relationship are a work in progress to a certain extent. I do feel like the spiritual layer is kind of an interesting read. Like there, really until Judgment, there's like, it's mostly just single people. And I feel like in this relationship, like, you're transitioning from a view of truly only like this isn't going to sound a little bit bad. I hope it doesn't sound bad, but like only viewing yourselves and your own priorities. And that's not to say like there's like selfishness going around. It's just truly like you haven't been in a relationship like this before, where you needed to kind of unite and come together. And I think that's going to be like a little bit of a struggle, like an internal struggle at first. There is a bit of like defensiveness that comes up with the Seven of Wands, especially with the King of Wands there as well. King of Wands is really like focused, driven, like let's go get it. I mean, it's right above the Chariot and the physical. You both may be extremely like driven people, right? And some of this drive might actually be like work, career, things like that. Like you both might have like pretty badass careers, or that's something that's very important to you. Like you have a hustle. And I think like it takes a little bit of time for you to kind of relax into the fact that like maybe it's okay to slow down a little bit, or, you know, maybe in order to like protect this relationship and help it grow, that means like you both can't pull late nights at the office all the time, right? Like I could kind of see a situation being like, okay, well, both of you work really long hours and sometimes it becomes like difficult to be able to see each other. And like, this is just one example of how it can manifest, but I think it's going to take a little bit of like relaxing into kind of a vibe where it's like, okay, well, we're going to schedule a time ahead of time, and like Thursday nights are just ours, like, and it's okay to just kind of like chill and relax a little bit. I feel like this Judgment card is giving me like a little bit of like strange vibes. Like, I'm not going to lie. It doesn't feel like, how do I describe it? It kind of feels like you're going to face some pressure from external forces. And I think this is tied to the fact that you're changing. I think that you changing as a person, like this is really important for your spiritual growth and for you kind of leveling up as a person, but it may be surprising to people around you. Like maybe you're saying yes to things that you normally don't say yes to. Maybe you're saying no to things that normally you would say yes to. And I think like people may not really understand like where it's coming from at first, or the fact that this is kind of the next step for you in your growth. It may almost look like a step back, or they're just going to see something has changed and not really understand like why the prioritization has changed. But I think this is really a call like for you to kind of focus on what your goals are in this life. Like if you want a relationship and you want a really strong relationship, like you got to put time into it. So figuring out how to do that is super important. And you have completion of a cycle here. Like whatever goal you set, you're going to achieve. I think it's just a matter of like really setting that goal, knowing that you want it, and not really like letting yourself compromise if it's going to sacrifice that goal. And compromise might be the wrong word, like, because obviously you're in a relationship, so you want to compromise to a certain extent. This feels like not pressure from not within the relationship. It feels like kind of like pressure from without. I'm feeling like maybe for one person it's going to be some work pressure, and another person it might be like for members of their family. And I think it's coming from a good place, and it's coming from a protective place, but it is a type of energy that will kind of impede your advancement and your ability to really execute on what you want. And partially I think it's because other people have views of you and visions for you, for the person that you were before, and you're going to be changing a lot in this relationship, and those goals and those views may not align with the person that you are and the person that you want to be. So it's just something to keep in mind. When it comes to just like physical layer here, we kind of talked a bit about like leaving baggage behind in the past. Like I do think that both of you have some baggage in different areas. I do feel like this isn't something that like really comes up externally in your relationship. I feel like this is a little bit of an internal struggle here. We have the Six of Swords reversed, and it's right under the Seven of Wands. I feel like it may be hard for the two of you, especially if you're very driven people, to kind of like get out of brain loops and mind loops. So definitely something to keep in mind. Like if you're struggling or feeling anxious and like you just need a gut check, I feel like this person is like, you're good. Don't worry. Like that's not going to be an issue with me. Like you're safe. I've got you. And I feel like maybe like bringing those things up, like not in a negative way, but just saying, hey, I'm having these feelings right now. I know this isn't you. I just need to hear that I'm loved right now. This person will be through the mood to say that to you. Or just to say, hey, you can trust me. I'm here. I'm here for whatever you need. If you want to talk, I'm here. If you don't want to talk, that's cool. If you just want a hug, like I can do whatever you want right now. And I think bringing it up to them will really help grow that trust, and help them open up as well. Because we all come with baggage, right? Like we're humans. We've been through a lot. I think bringing up what you're struggling with, as long as it's in like a positive way, is really helpful to kind of build empathy and help the other person see where you're coming from. We have the Ten of Pentacles. So whatever you build together, honestly, I think is gonna be pretty baller. I think there may be like, again, kind of a tendency to a lot of drive in this relationship. So just make sure like whatever you're going towards is what you really want. I think that will change for you too. Like I'm really seeing with this Hangman in reverse, kind of a reverse in perspective, a reverse in priorities, a reverse in like who you want to be. And it's interesting. I've never actually noticed before in any decks, but the Hanged Man, when it's reversed like this, really mirrors the world. They're both standing in this kind of figure four. And I think family's going to be big for you. Like if you choose to have a family, like you will have a family. The number 4 is really getting me right now. Yeah. this relationship is going to significantly alter your worldview. And I think kind of release a lot of stagnancy that you've been seeing, kind of in personal growth or just like growth in your life. Because you're going to have that person that's going to be really there to support you. Oh, this is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think this is all that I have. I'm going to try pulling some charms. And this is mostly like for the single people, just kind of when are you going to meet this person? Okay, so we have an anchor. Again, like super stabilizing force in your life. We have a whale's tail. There is going to be some luck involved. And we have a little Felix the cat. Maybe some like mischievous energy as well. Thinking like, okay, so we have a little snowman. He's making me think of Frosty the Snowman. And we have the cat here. It's making me feel like maybe you're going to be doing something that's a little bit like childlike when you meet this person. And I almost feel like they're kind of not going to be on the same vibe. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I have no idea what this like coin thing is either. I really do feel like in this case, it's going to be like opposites attract. I feel like it's going to be kind of a situation where you're not really like planning on meeting anybody at all. And you might be a little bit more fun than this person at first. And they might be like a little bit of a stick in the mud. I think it's under there, but like this kind of like palm tree is giving me like kind of island, like cool vibes, you know, like kind of playing it off like they're not noticing or they're like not really seeing, they're not seeing how fun whatever you're doing. Like you might be like a group in the corner, like screaming in laughter, and this person is like in the other corner being like too cool for school. But we have this whale tail, and I feel like there's like a lot under the surface, so they're just like not letting on, and they kind of want to go and join the fun too. I feel like that is something that like really, really attracts them to you. And it's kind of calling back to, if you remember in the first cards, like they were on a boat, like their original, there we have them right here. Like that was their original card, and then yours was the sun. And I feel like these charms are kind of, they're telling like a very similar story, to me anyway. So yeah. Well, I hope this was helpful. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me. This was super fun. This was really beautiful energy. If this resonated, please like, comment, subscribe. If you have met this person, let me know what they're like. If you haven't met them yet, come back and tell me when you do. Above all, keep your little heart safe, and I will see you in another reading soon. Okay, bye. Hi, Pile 2s. If you chose this rhodonite crystal and this number 17 card, I'm independent. This is your pile. So let's read this together. So the quality of work you can produce when you're going at it alone is almost unbelievable. You are as independent as you are ambitious, capable of performing every step of the way with efficiency, focus, and skill. Do not be afraid that this is an independence card for a bill reading. I am getting a very like supportive and loving vibe from this pile already. And I feel like this pile in general may have struggled with codependent relationships that were maybe like pretty unsupportive in the past. And this, I'm happy to report, feels rock ass solid. This almost feels like this person is like very comfortable to take the back seat and just let you shine. Like they want you to be everything you can be, to shine as bright as you can, to fucking get your bag. Like this person has no ego about that. And I think that both of you really appreciate independence. And you also are both very supportive of each other. Like this feels like a very stable energy. So yeah, I've been giving a little like pre-reading reading. I don't know. I kind of feel like it. Just stuff that's coming through. Today on the left, we're going to be asking a little bit about your person. On the right, we're going to be asking about you. If the energy's flipped, that's totally okay. Most of this is going to be focused on just your relationship in general, your dynamic, how this person shows up in it, how you show up in it. We might ask a little bit about like energies that you're kind of moving through as you find this relationship. This is really meant to be for everybody, whether you're already in a relationship, and this, is a reading about the person you're in a relationship with, or if you're single and this is a new person in your life. Definitely can work both ways for you. Once we are done with kind of the energy check, then we will move on to the tarot. I'll ask a little bit about how this relationship will help you grow spiritually, how you both grow in kind of the 3D world. And then we're going to wrap up pulling charms. And this will specifically be for kind of our singles person, but if you want to stick around and you're in a relationship, you can. But we'll be asking like, how do you meet this person and what type of energy will you be in? It's a general reading, so it's going to be more about the energy that's around, but having done pile 1, I think it was cute. So I'm going to do it again. Okay. So let's ask about your lovely person, because I do think that they are a lovely person. Okay. Whoop. We have the 4 of Wands. I love this card. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck. It's interesting. Pile 1 also had a 4. They had the 4 of Swords as their person. Like very just solid, stable, reliable energy. I love that in a partner. And you, my friend, we have Olodumare, which is 1 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, this is a really interesting card, and I just want to like talk about it for a second. This is all about tears, like creating a place of peace and purity for you. And when I pulled this, I felt like the tears were just like sucking back into your eye. Like this is the end of tears for you, and I love it. It's almost like this person, like this is a very fiery card as well. The ship going through a lava plain, and it's all about like safe passage. No matter what else is going on. And I feel like this person is coming in and just kind of like drying a little bit of your tears and being like, you're good. Like, you got this. And I don't know, I'm also getting like this sense that you're both explorers. And something that might have like made you both, because I feel like you're kind of like 2 sides of the same coin in a lot of ways here. I feel like in the past for both of you, there have been kind of like external circumstances or people who have really like tried to limit your growth. And I think it's kind of like manifested in like partners or parents that didn't want you to pursue your dreams because they were worried about you getting hurt. That's kind of like the vibe that I get. One of you or both of you may have had like kind of like a fearful or relatively controlling partner who kind of like knocked down your dreams a little bit, or like, do you really want to pursue that? Like, you might not succeed. Kind of like talk like that. And I feel like that is an energy that is like really coming to an end. Like, I think for both of you, like both of you are willing to support each other through taking kind of measured risks, and also like willing to let each other make mistakes. I think for this pile, there's almost this letting go of perfectionism and kind of like grabbing life by the horns a little bit more and really exploring in ways that you haven't been able to because you were limited by those partners or that circumstance. This seems like, it's a pile about independence, but it's also a pile about adventure, and kind of the removal of limitations that both of you have had, because you didn't have that supportive partner or that person you could fall back on or that person cheering you through the hard times. Because just like pile one, like the person that's coming in is rock solid. And I think that you may have like a passion project that you're working on as well. Like, I almost feel like some of these tears are like tears of labor. It's like a labor of love that you're kind of going through. And this person understands that there's obstacles. Like, they're used to kind of navigating obstacles. And they're right there with you, like cheering you on and helping to unblock. And, when you're questioning whether you can do this, whether this is right for you, like whether you made a mistake in whatever path you chose, like this person is going to be right there behind you, like encouraging you and saying like, you can do this. You got this. Like, you don't need me to tell you this. Like, you know this because you already got it, but they're still going to be there telling it to you. It's a pretty dope energy, actually. Okay, and for your person, we have the offering. Oh, pull another card. Yeah, I'm gonna pull another card. And then we have the mountain. And for you, we have the pilgrim. Okay, you got a bonus card. We have the thread and the siren. Ooh, I like this. I like your energy, by the way. If this is you on the right here, like, I like it. Okay. First I want to call out, like, when I shuffled these, I was like, yes, because we have the pilgrim and the mountain, and, like, isn't that great? There's the mountain, like, within the pilgrim. Beautiful. And, like, what does a pilgrim do but bring an offering? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's like, a lot of mirroring going on in this situation. This is a relationship where, like, I almost feel like this person is like pulling a thread of fate to get you. Like, you are connected. And this was something that was like meant to be, normally the siren can like talk about kind of like negative. It's not always negative, but it's like the siren. I feel like this is like really like learning to kind of listen to the siren song of the universe. And I think that's like the reason why this person is connected to you, is to really allow you to kind of go on that pilgrimage, to make sacrifices, to find your calling and really like pursue it. Pursue what's at the end of this rainbow. And this person seems very balanced in the fact that they understand that life is not just about material gain. There's also personal and spiritual growth. The mountain is an interesting card because, like, a lot of people think that the riches are on the top of the mountain, right? They're like trying to climb Everest. But really, gold and minerals and everything that's really like worth real monetary value is at the core of it, right? So like this person understands that balance. They understand that there are things in the external world that are important, but there's also things that internally are super important. And I think that's very important for you. I keep on saying important. It's very important for you to have a partner that understands that. Because I don't think that all of your decisions are always based on material aspects. You may do things just for the love of it, just for the love of baseball, you know? Maybe some of you sew, like there is a thread here. I feel like whatever you're building right now is built on creativity. And this person understands that that fuels your purpose. That you're not going to be the type of person that is like stuck 9 to 5 during a desk job and then like goes home and sits on the couch every day. Like your hustle looks a little bit different. I think like for some of you, like you may be a teacher in some aspect. Others, I think like may have more creative pursuits. Like maybe you paint, maybe you're starting a small business, something like that. Something else that is, you know, we have the offering and we have the pilgrim. Like this person is going to understand that for you, like you're going to need sacrifices, like for the love of the game. I don't know why I keep on making baseball references. So maybe for some of you, this person is, one of you is real into baseball, or like both of you. But this person understands that there's a give and a take. And they're willing to support you through that. I feel like this person was like built, they were not built for speed. They were like built for stability. And I think that's something that you need in your life. I feel like independence and like following creative pursuits, like I think that they are very important for you. I think what has been a struggle is kind of balancing that out and like building the stability. And I'm also kind of looking at these cards and I guess three is like an unstable number in when you're looking at balance, but like it creates a stable stool, right? And like 2 doesn't always create a stable stool, but if you're looking at like balance in numbers, more balance. Like something about the combination of these cards for whatever reason and just the numbers is making me feel like again, you're like 2 sides to one coin, but you're kind of more of the like free spirit, follow your passions type of person. This person seems like a little bit like more solid than that. And I don't want to say like weighed down, but maybe like more in like the traditional path. And I think both of you kind of come together and you're able to see those differences within each other and really appreciate them and realize that this brings more balance to you, even though you're very, very different. Okay. Just taking a quick sip of tea. I'm going to pull one more card. Okay, we have Dark Moon, pause and rest. You deserve it. Oh, I get a lovely energy from this, I'm not going to lie. I kind of pulled this card just for like a little bit of a summary or clarification. Like, I do feel like for both of you, this is going to be like a very peaceful and stable connection. And I think that really is important for both of you. It feels like both of you have had just kind of like a constant grind of chaos around you in a lot of respects. It was interesting. Last pile, it felt like it was really focused on like interpersonal relationships, whether it was like family or like bad relationships. This pile feels like more like just general state of the world. Or like maybe normal is middle and you feel like you're always half a step to the left. That's kind of how I've always like described the way that I navigate through the world. It's like, well, you got most people, and then I'm just like half a step to the left. And I feel like in this relationship, you're really able to find kind of a like-minded person who views the world very similarly to you, even though their personality might be very different. And it makes you feel at rest. It makes you feel like you've found home. It makes you feel safe enough to keep pursuing your goals and to keep going out there and to not accept failure. Because you know that at the end of the day, like there's this person there who loves you and really supports you. Overall, just really dope energy. Okay. This was your energy check. So if this is vibing, then let's move on to the tarot. If not, then definitely pick a different pile. Pile 1 was dope. I'm sure pile 3 will be as well. Let me find... I feel like for you, I switched to a different tarot deck too. I really wanted the white kitties. I don't know why. Something about this pile just felt like really precious to me. And when I was shuffling the archetype deck, the ones that's in circles, like heart just kept on popping up as well. There's just something that's like just very like sweet and cute about the way that you support each other and interact with each other. I could sit in this energy for a while. Okay, so Spirit, what can you tell me about the spiritual growth in this connection? Okay, we have the Page of Swords. We have Queen of Pentacles. We have the Three of Swords. That's the tier energy for sure, kind of coming through. And we'll take the bonus card. Okay, we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse, and then we have the Sun. And then for physical, can you tell me? We have the Nine of Swords. We have the Lovers. How do you want to go? Okay, Lovers in reverse. That's like two. Okay, sure. We'll take them. We'll do it. We have the Nine of Cups. We have the Ten of Cups. And then we have the King of Cups. Love it. And then back of the deck energy, because we always extra is the Page of Pentacles. Okay. So, I think spiritually, there's going to be a lot of releasing. Typically when this is kind of like how I read, like, I don't know if these are like clarifiers or just like bookends, to be honest. Like I might just read it like this. I kind of feel like that is a little bit more what's going on here. Really only meant to shuffle 4, but 5 came out in both rows. So we're going to kind of treat them equally and not as little clarifiers. But we have the top row here, and we have the Page of Swords upright and the Sun upright. And in between, we have these cards in reverse. I feel like this is the energy that's kind of like shifting around. I feel like you're like coming into this relationship, you're almost like a little on guard at life in general. It's not like with this person. It actually feels like from the beginning, you kind of recognize like something in each other that is very like there's kind of just like an immediate recognition, and it might not be the flashiest recognition. Like this person doesn't feel like a Ferrari. They feel like a Toyota Corolla in a lot of ways, you know, like their energy is very different than yours. But I think like you both pick up that you're very alike when it comes down to like morality and the way that you view people and view life in general. Very, very similar. And I feel like you may have some like witty banter at first too. You know, they may not be the person who's like peacocking and trying to get your attention, but like they're gonna get your attention, you know? They're also not a person who's like in it to lose, like they're in it to win it. But I do feel like there's some sort of like hesitancy that I'm feeling with this card. And maybe like a little bit of like it's almost like a bristling energy. Like you're almost kind of like so used to pushing other people away because they don't align with your values and because they're kind of not really on the same vibe with you. And it's going to take like a second for you to like relax a little bit and let that energy move past so you can kind of like move on to more stable energies. Keep in mind, like, this spiritual path ends with the sun. Like, there's a lot of processing of energy that's going to be going on. If the person on the right was you got some dope baller energy. You also, I feel like, have been through some stuff. And I think this relationship is really going to help, like, process that and release it. People don't like the Three of Swords. Sometimes I feel like I like this card. I feel like when you're looking at the Three of Swords, like, yes, like it's a painful moment. It's processing a lot of feelings and emotions, but the card after that is the Four of Swords. It's a time of rest. You had, what was your final card in that spread was Dark Moon, pause and rest. You deserve it. Like, I feel like that could be like the message of this whole entire relationship. Like, it is okay to release the shit that's gone on in the past because the present is where something really beautiful is happening. And I feel like that's happening on a very deep spiritual level. You also have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse and the Six of Pentacles here. And for me, there's like, I don't know why I just organize them like this. I don't actually do that with cards very often. It almost feels like everything's kind of caving in to release whatever you've been holding on to. These kind of like fears. And I feel like a lot of these fears have to do around like supporting yourself and being in a place where you like have something to offer in a relationship, or feeling like, you know, if you pursue your passion or the career or project that you really want to, that you might not have enough to give, or like you might not be able to support yourself. Like, there seems to be a lot of kind of monetary fear and fear of like reciprocity. Like maybe like you don't feel like you have enough to give right now because of kind of the energy that you're in. And this relationship, I know I'm kind of like talking about this a lot, and it's really not like, it hasn't been a lot about the relationship so far, but I think this relationship is going to show you like what true reciprocity means and what true stability means. I think stability is something that like I see a lot in this spread, kind of themes of stability. And I think you need to know, like, no matter what happens, like, with this person, you're going to be good. I do think that if there is, like, a fear that comes up in this relationship, it may kind of center around income and resources. And like, I think this is something that like I'm tackling in my own life. I think a lot of people that I know that are single are tackling. And something that I was like talking about this weekend too is just, this is a very different world than the world that our parents grew up and got married in. Depending on what your age is, like it could be even more extreme, you know, like, I think we have a lot of fears around who makes more money, who makes less money, am I able to support my family, will I have enough money for retirement, like all of these questions. And to a certain extent, I feel like this either creates conflict within relationships, like mostly because of fear, and not necessarily because of like true reality. I think the true reality is most of us, like, will be okay. At the end of the day, we can put food on the table. Right now, it's getting harder, right? This is kind of taking like a weird left turn, but like, I don't know how I want to like summarize this, but I think that there is some sort of dynamic here where there is a feeling of not having enough wealth. But I want to like tell you that your true wealth is in the happiness and support with this person. Being with this person is going to be a choice. Like, you have the Lovers here as well. I think it's a choice that, because of these fears, becomes a little bit clouded at the beginning. Like, this person isn't the flashiest person, but they're a person who has like a ton of love to offer you and a lot of stability, like almost like a bottomless cup. And this person, like no ego amigo, will help you achieve whatever you want in life. And I don't know, I feel like we have almost these like expectations of what people should bring to a relationship, but it's like those expectations don't really work for the way that the world is today at all. I mean, like, you could be making 10 times the amount that your partner is, and traditionally that would be a dude making 10 times the amount. Now ladies do too, and I do see that, like, there's some kind of like fears, like somewhat like that in this pile. And I just want to let you know that that is something that's going to be leaving. Like, as this person, and I feel like I've been very long-winded with this, and maybe I could have said it in 3 sentences, but I get kind of scattered when I channel. But this person, like, they're going to be so reassuring that these things are just going to like kind of slide away and fall away. And I think the worries about like material concerns are going to kind of be minimized in this relationship. Like, there just seems to be like less of an emphasis put on that and more of an emphasis on love in the moment and building a future together and happiness and joy and kind of like less around the heavier energies. Like, the heavier energies like kind of start out at the beginning of the spread, and I read left to right mostly, and by the end of this, we've got the sun. Like, your tears are going to be dried, and then we have the 10 of Cups and the King of Cups, and that is such beautiful energy that you're moving into. And I think it's like up to you to decide what to do with these heavier energies and how to process them while you're kind of moving through this. But I do think that this person is like going to be very willing to sit with you and hold you, and when you need a hug, give you a hug, and just be there for you, like, while you kind of get through this and really figure out like who you are and what you want to do. So I do kind of feel like that has been like a little bit of a struggle for you, and for this person in a different way. Like, they feel like they've kind of got themselves figured out a lot. But again, they feel like half a step to the left. And I think that has given them a little bit of a disconnect when it comes to like finding partners or like finding their people. Like, they might be the type of person who has like 4 friends and they've been friends with them forever, because this person doesn't feel like a lot of people get them. And I feel like that's a very similar feeling to you as well. But I feel like it's also kind of like manifested in you still really looking for that space in the world. And I'm thinking about like that thread of fate. Like, I feel like you've just been pulling on this thread, like really trying to figure out like, what is my path and what am I meant to do? And I feel like this person is really going to help center you so you can kind of hear that siren song of the universe and respond to it and figure out your path. And that is really going to kind of like shoot you forward, both in life and within this relationship. Okay. Well, this was a lot. Thank you for hanging out with me. This is so beautiful. Like, I feel like this is kind of like the culmination of a very long path for you, and something that you should be so freaking excited about. Okay, I'm going to pull some charms just to see like vibes of how you're going to meet this person. Okay. Let me see. We got trees. We got a little boat, a white bow tie. A ladybug. I feel like we've been getting like little signs of luck. Like, this is truly the universe kind of like working. Okay, I'm going to organize these a little bit. Like, I feel like wherever you meet this person, like, you're going to be like dressed to the nines. I don't know if it's like New Year's Eve party. When I first pulled this tree, I thought wedding. So like potentially you may be like meeting somebody like at a like bachelorette party, or like actually at a wedding. This is giving me kind of like ocean vibes. Again, the ladybug is just about luck for me. Like, this is going to be like right place, right time. Same with unicorn. And the unicorn is an odd creature, right? Like, what is a unicorn? It's not a horse. Like, it's kind of unique in itself. And I feel like that is going to be energy that really just like jumps out at you. And this is, okay. I was a summer camp counselor for a while. This could be like a really random story. But we had, maybe I shouldn't say like the kid's name, but we had this one little kid who would like take checks and he would like peer through the check. I don't know if I can like actually have you do this, like, but just like peer through it. Like, life looks different from within this perspective. Like, I feel like something about this person, like right when you meet them, is going to kind of shift a little bit of your perspective. It's going to be like, huh, like, I get that. I vibe with that. Like, that's different. I like it. And it'll be like there's a lot of change in perspective in this pile. And I feel like that's going to be something that jumps out at you like straight off the bat. You're like, wow. But I feel like part of this flashy thing is you're going to be really dressed up, and this person might not be as dressed up. So very like interesting. And hey, this is right before Halloween. So like maybe you're dressed up for Halloween and they're not. Okay. Well, I think this is all that I have for you. I hope this was helpful. This is such beautiful energy. I'm so excited for you. Like, look at this. I just want you to like focus on these 3 cards. Anyway, yeah, if this resonated, please like, comment, subscribe. That really helps me grow my channel. I would love to have you around here to come hang out with me. Above all, keep your heart safe, and I will see you in another reading soon. Okay, bye. Hi, Pile 3s. If you chose this red jasper and number 26, I'm tactful, then this is your reading. I'm going to go ahead and read this card for you. I've been doing like a mini pre-reading before the reading because I'm just like really into all these piles energies. So bear with me. I'm getting a little loopy. You have a desire to succeed and will feel most accomplished when your work benefits others. Your intuitive awareness of what people want allows you to come up with innovative solutions to meet their needs. Like, the first thing that comes to mind is just like a power couple. Like, I don't know. There's something about the way that the two of your energies moves through the world. It's almost like whenever you're together, it's like the path of least resistance. Like things just kind of like open up, things flow. I'm getting a lot of like almost like the two of you are very, very in tune with each other and like very able to kind of like anticipate what each other is doing and also anticipate each other's needs. Like, for example, if you have a bad day at work and like maybe this person texts you and you're just like, man, today was shitty. Like when you get home, this person is gonna have cleaned up the kitchen and made you dinner and just kind of like set out your blankets on the couch so there's like a cozy place for you to come home to. Like it feels like just like a lot of like little thoughtful touches kind of on both sides where you really take care of each other. And I think like, yeah, I think other people notice this a lot and really look at your relationship and think like, wow, like they have a really strong, solid relationship. And I think it's because both of you just like find so much comfort in each other, but you're also very in tune with what each other needs and what each other wants, and are willing to kind of go the extra mile to just set each other up for success. I don't think it's like crazy to do, you know, it's like one of those things that most people don't put time into. And I think the both of you just like really like taking care of each other. It's very cute, actually. I love it. Every pile has been so cute in so like very different ways. It's been great. Oh yeah, let me talk about, I'm getting so distracted because I love this energy so much. Let me talk about the reading format really quick. So on the left, we are going to be pulling cards for this person. On the right, we'll be pulling cards for you. This is a reading that's really meant for everybody. So we could be talking about somebody that you're in a relationship with, or if you're single, somebody that you're going to meet. Once we go through kind of energy check and what this relationship is going to look like, then we'll ask about kind of spiritual growth and like 3D growth that you're going to see in this relationship as well. And we'll wrap up with some charms. The charms are like mostly aimed towards people who haven't met this person yet. We'll ask, you know, like what kind of energy will you be in? But, you know, could definitely apply to you if you've already met this person as well. So yeah, let's dig in. Okay, Spirit, what can you tell me about pile 3's person? Did you get 2 cards? No. Oh, I love this card. Strong energy. Oh my gosh. Ah! Okay. We got the ancestors popping up. That is too many cards, though. Okay. And then for you, we have Tarot in reverse. So this is really cute. I feel like this is actually talking a little bit about your love languages, which is interesting because I feel like in previous files it was more about like you as people, but I guess this kind of aligns with the way like I was talking about how you kind of like anticipated each other's needs. This just feels cute. Like I think this person, their love language is like words of affirmation. The 6 of Wands in this deck talks a lot about like communication and storytelling. This may be like the person that, like your person may be a very like kind of loquacious person. The fact that I just use loquacious, like they're probably like pre-educated too. Or like to read a lot. Like they probably have like a pretty expansive vocabulary. I don't use that on a normal basis. I don't think I've used that since like SAT vocab, but yeah, this person I think is a storyteller, and I think that words are very important to them. For you, Tarot, like this is a very earthy card, and so like this Tarot is like basically like taking care of the drums, like working with plants, it makes me think of acts of service. And because it's in reverse, like it makes me feel like you're really into quiet acts of service. Things like, yeah, cleaning up the kitchen if I've had a bad day. Like, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want the mental load of it. And like, I feel like the two of you really understand each other's needs, like at a very deep level. And you are more than willing to kind of like adjust the way that you navigate the world to make each other happy. It feels like at the end of the day, like this person just wants to tell you like everything that happened to them during the day. And that's like the way that they connect. And you're more of like, you know, like maybe you don't always have space to hear all of those things. If you come in the house and you're like, shit, like I gotta do the dishes, I gotta cook, I gotta clean, I gotta do all these things. And I think this person is like, well, I understand that I need this from you and you can't always give it to me because you have all of these things on your list to do. So I'm going to just quietly go take care of a couple of them and then set up a little place where like we can connect. And that way, like you feel relaxed, you feel fulfilled, and I also do as well because we're both getting what we need. And I think that's just like a very like beautiful balance that I see in this relationship and between the two of you. I do think that you two are like probably heavy extroverted on one side and heavy introverted on the other side is my guess. We also have like very stark red and blue cards here, which kind of like points to a good difference like that. But I think just even like feeling into the energies, I also think, I think you really appreciate when people just do shit for you and like don't make a big deal about it. Because I think that you work really hard and you don't expect a lot of praise, or you're not used to getting a lot of praise either. And so when people like make a grand gesture, like, oh, I clean the kitchen. In the back of your head, you're like, I clean the kitchen every single week, like, or every day. Like, seriously? And I think this person understands it about you. They're like, I'm gonna make it silent. Like, they're gonna notice, but like, I'm not gonna make a big deal about it. Because I feel like that even like bringing it up, like almost adds to the cognitive load. And this person is like very aware of that. And they really kind of like work within those bounds. I hope that made sense. Like, I just like feel like such a beautiful appreciation of one another. I think that's like you're just like down for each other, and other people notice this as well, and I don't think they realize like why you're kind of so in tune with each other and how. But I think like those are kind of like just the anticipation of each other's needs is something that you're very good at, like making each other feel comfortable and feel seen and feel like there's space for each other. I think that's something that you excel at in this relationship. Okay, Spirit, what can you tell me about Palo? Okay, that was like a lot of cards. So, and kind of interesting. I'm going to put these back. We're going to keep a gape. I did see the Tower, and then here I just saw the Destroyer as well. So I might pull like a little, I saw the Tower when I was shuffling. A bunch of cards popped out, kind of like that. So I might pull like one clarifier for that, but let's see what comes out here. Okay, we have a Gape and the Sword. So this person is a thinker. They're a thinker. They're a thinker. They're a talker. They want to share all their ideas with you. I feel like it is exhausting sometimes for you. I just heard like, I run a tight ship. I don't know, maybe this is like the seafaring pile. There was a different pile where I was making a lot of baseball analogies. I don't know where that came from either. Okay. So let's talk about your person. Like, yes, sword energy. Like, loquacious mofo. Okay, this person loves to talk. They love to talk. I feel like they are very good at kind of like modulating this. Or modulating is not the right word. Like moderating it. Let's just say doing it when it's welcome and like shutting up when it's not. I think that they like gain a lot of new perspective by talking. And I think they love hearing what your perspective is on things. Like they love to be in conversation with you. I think that it opens their eyes to a lot of like other experiences and a lot of other ways of being. I think that you are very different people and your wants and needs and desires and kind of how you navigate through the world. And being in a relationship with you has really given this person who seems very extreme in a lot of ways. Like they're 100% them. And I think like being in a relationship with you and seeing the different way that you work has really allowed them to become a more dynamic and complete version of themselves because they understand other perspectives so much more. I don't want to say they're like one note, but they are like very, very themselves. And I think for some people it is a bit harder to develop a sense of other people. And this is almost like a craft that this person is like cultivating, you know, getting to know you and getting to know your differences and getting to know what you need and realizing that like they have a lot of power to kind of move the relationship in a positive direction by responding to your wants and needs in a certain way. And again, like this is helping them grow as a person and really like take into consideration other viewpoints. I think that they always like to talk and they always like to hear about other perspectives, but actually like being with you and seeing like the lived experience and being able to kind of like collaboratively like figure out a way to connect with you is something that's kind of like taking that understanding and learning to the next level. And I think that that's something that they really love about your dynamic, as it's like forcing them to learn. I think they really love learning. They really love expanding their brain. And I think it's like, it's helped them reorder and kind of like reprioritize what's important for them as well. Yeah, and just get a broader expanse of the universe. For you, I kind of like laughed internally a little bit with this father coming out. Like you do have a little bit of this energy, like I don't know, the pressure of the family success is on my back, or like if I don't get this stuff done, then it's just not going to get done. And I don't know, this ring like almost looks like an eye to me too. I feel like you also like, I don't know, like see all. You've got that energy of like, you know, parents, like when people might not be parents here. I'm not a parent either, but I was a kid. You know when like everything goes dead silent in the other room and like your parent just like knows that some shit just went down. I feel like you just like have that vibe. You're just like, I know what's going on. Like, you kind of like see through things, you know? Like, you know that when this person, like, you know this person is like working you a little bit by doing all these nice things for you, but at the same time, you're like, well, that is kind of my love language. So I'll take it. But like, I see you, you know? I do feel like while there is kind of this like warm hug energy between these kind of like love language acts of service things, like to a certain extent, I feel like there's a little bit of side eye like going on for you, being like, yes, I know I'm being worked right now. Yes, I know I'm being taken care of as I should be. I don't know. It's kind of like a cheeky little energy. And I feel like part of this is a little bit of a playful dynamic too, where like they know they're kind of working you, like you're kind of being worked, but you both like it, I have like a shit-eating grin on my face right now. Like I feel like part of this might be like a little bit of a game for both of you, which is just great. I love it. I don't know. I can't stop smiling right now. I just love it so much. Okay, I'm going to pull one more card. And then we will move on to tarot. Who wants to come out? Okay, we have Sekhmet. Courage, truth, and shadow work. I feel like I'm going to pull like a card, maybe like 2 cards. I want to know what this like destroyer kind of tower energy is, because it was like peeking out a little bit. And I feel like because it came up in both decks, it's like a little like footnote, like caveat of something. And the shadow work thing is really kind of bringing it up for me. There's something in here. And I'm hearing Beauty and the Beast, and we have like, what's the song like? Started just as friends, then somebody bends unexpectedly. This, maybe that's it. Okay, like this relationship might kind of pop out of nowhere. And this might not be for everybody, but this could be somebody that like you've known for a while. And you kind of have an unexpected shift in the dynamic. Like the gallery of those who came before. And let's see what else we're getting. Something that is never truly yours. Okay. This is the vibe that I'm getting right now. I feel like this is maybe like one of 2 ways for some of you. This might not be for all of you. Like for some of you, this could be just like a person where you have like a very jokey dynamic. And I feel like it's coming out as a caveat because of that. So if this doesn't feel right, then like by all means, skip over this part. But this person may be somebody who you've known for a while, and has really been working on themselves. The gallery of those who came before and something that is never truly yours. Like, I feel like this is somebody who may have witnessed you being in other relationships, or maybe you've witnessed them going through relationships. And you've kind of had, we all have those people who we're attracted to, but for whatever reason, like it just never works out. Like whether they're in a relationship or like there's just kind of a non-starter about them, where there's just, you can't get that alignment and it's just not working. Like that's what this energy kind of feels like. And it feels like for some of you, something happens and this person, like this card, agape, I mean, it's about expansion, but it's also about like refactoring your prioritization, like changing your priority from self to universe almost. And then we also have the lightning in this sword card. Like there might have been kind of like a rude awakening or realization for this person that like if they were interested in you and they like wanted to get you, it's got a little bit of like Beauty and the Beast energy. Like this person needs to get their shit together to actually move this forward. And that also might be some of the side eye going on too. Like, is this real? I think like for as much as the side eye is like, going on, like it does feel very jokey. I don't think there's a lot of like questioning in this relationship. There may be at first being like, is this person for real? Like, have they really changed? I think that they have. I think it has taken a lot of like courage for them to like step up to the plate and show interest and really kind of like gain your trust in that way. Because I feel like they're just like, they've come to this realization that that's what they want. So anyway, that's like a little bit of a side note. If that doesn't fit for you, please don't take that part, because I do feel like that one is not for everybody. Okay, well now, I think this is all I want to talk about for this part. So we're going to move on to tarot. If you're feeling like this is your pile, we're going to start pulling cards. If this does not feel like your pile, definitely pop over to pile 1 or 2. Those were both beautiful readings. Okay, so Spirit, what can you tell me about pile 3's relationship on like the spiritual vibe? We have the 8 of Swords. I feel like at first, like, even your soul's like not really sure where this is leading, you know? It almost feels like there's like a little bit of a feeling of like entrapment and an old way of being or an old way of considering this. We have the Magician in reverse. We have the Ace of Cups and we have the 10 of Swords. I feel like there's like a strong sense of new beginnings with this person. I was kind of talking about this in the last pile. Like the 3 of Swords came out. The 10 of Swords is here. I actually like those cards. I may be a little bit of a weirdo in that sense, but I love a good, like, you know, bloodletting, I guess. Because what comes after that, right? Like, what comes after the 10 of Swords? Like, a brand new beginning. I always look at the, like, sunrise coming out. Like, it's a card of hope for me. And especially with the Ace of Cups here as well. Like, I feel like it's kind of like an end. How do I put this? Like an end to doubting. And we had doubt and trust come up in that like last card, the segment. Where did I put it? I feel like if this is not a person that you knew before, I think that this is something that's like come up for you in a lot of relationships. There's like a little bit of an unknown, almost like a wild card or like grab bag energy to the people around you, where like I feel like you are to a certain extent used to kind of having people add to that mental load instead of like remove for it. Like that really kind of was just popping up a lot for me at the beginning of the reading. And I feel like at the end of this, like this relationship, like you're starting out kind of with all of, it's almost like this mental load is like trapping you. Like you got so much stuff like going on, like so many responsibilities around you. We have the Magician in reverse, which like, I think that you have the energy to do all of these things. But when you add like the complication of another person or another cup, then all of a sudden, like your cup is drained. Like you don't have another cup, right? I think this relationship is like teaching you that sometimes it's okay to just like let things fall, right? Like you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to take care of everything. Like sometimes it's okay to just chill. But also you can trust this person that they're not going to be just like adding more to your plate. And I feel like this card, like, you know, traditionally you wouldn't read it that way, but that's not how I'm feeling it. I feel like for this card for me right now, it feels like finally, like all of these like thoughts or things or mental load were kind of like around you, pinning you in a little bit. And I feel like this relationship is helping you just like put those swords down. Like all 10 are down. Like there's going to be space for you in this relationship to just like chill out and not have to worry so much and not have to worry about like taking care of everybody around you or taking care of, you know, whatever. This person is not going to be like a big baby. It's the vibe that I'm getting. And I think they're like really like, they know that that is kind of a non-starter for this. And so they're like they're like, I'm not going to be a baby. Like, I'm going to take care of my shit. I'm going to take care of my person. Like, I know that this is something that they struggle with and like, I need to get done. Okay, so 3D. We have the 3 of Cups in reverse. We have the 4 of Wands and we have the Chariot. And then we have the 3 of Wands. And let's see what's on the bottom of the deck as well. 5 of Pentacles. Okay. Ugh. That looks like a Christmas tree in reverse. I don't know why this card looks like very Christmassy to me. I think maybe for one or both of you, like Christmas might be like a little bit of a tough time and you're going to find a lot of comfort in one another around that time. That's just like, I feel like this isn't even the theme of the reading. That's just like a side note. Okay. So 3 of Cups. 3 of Cups is kind of an interesting card to come out in reverse at the beginning of this. Like, it does give me kind of like, again, maybe like vibes of this person was a friend or you met them kind of in a more friendly capacity and they didn't really seem like they were the most solid choice, or there was like something about them that was just kind of like, they're a little bit of a player, or, you know, they're just like a little bit immature. I think this person is going to work really hard to change that perspective with you. And like, by the time you get through the 4 of Wands, you're like honeymoon stage and the Chariot, like, you're really going to be kind of lock and step moving together through this world. Like, this is kind of like the power couple energy that I was feeling at the beginning of the reading, where people are like looking at your relationship and they're like, damn, this works. Like, why does it work? But there's something about it that is very like engaging and attractive to people. I do think that like, this is a relationship that is going to expand, your circumstances. And I think just like when it comes to kind of like interpersonal relationships, just give you like a better understanding of like how to engage with different types of people and different people. Like, what am I feeling right now? There's something about the 3 of like Wands here, though. I feel like this is, because this like wand is behind this person. And this is a card about like waiting, but in this sense, like, I feel like it is truly a card about like anticipation. And I think this is a person where like you are excited for the future with. Like, you're not worried about all of these, like, 10 swords or 8 swords or whatever that's, like, going on in your brain normally. Like, you can actually kind of put those thoughts down and actually look to the future and get excited and, like, look forward to the good things that are coming. I think there may be a tendency just for you in general to kind of, like, get stressed about the present. And I think this person is really going to like teach you how to be in the present and like be excited about the future and anticipate it, but not be worried about it. Which I think is like honestly a pretty like amazing gift for somebody. And I think that's really just in the way that they do anticipate your needs and they do lighten that load. It allows you to kind of like breathe and expand and like work through kind of that like more like anxious energy and really settle into something that's like really just like fiery and happy. I'm going to pull a couple charms for single people. How are you going to meet this person? Although we already kind of like talked about, you maybe already know this person. Who knows? Okay. So We have a like night sky and a pyramid here. And we have a heart and a little diamond. I feel like when those come out, like I feel like games are kind of emphasized. And we also have like little grapes here. So you might meet this person out at like a game night or something. I mean, we have another star here. I feel like this is giving me kind of like nighttime vibes, maybe a little bit of travel. We have a lipstick, and a turtle. I'm trying to think, like, for some reason I feel like this turtle is important. You know, I was getting like a little bit of travel vibes, like from this pyramid, like going to see the pyramids. Like you may be on kind of like an international trip when you meet them, or maybe even just like a beach day, honestly. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting though. So like for some of you it might be like out playing games, shooting darts somewhere. I feel like, you know, like drinking and games is like a constant here, maybe like at night. And potentially like maybe even like humanitarian efforts. I'm seeing like people like volunteering to release turtles, and that could be like, that could be anything. That could be like walking dogs, like beach cleanup, something like that. So if you volunteer, that could definitely be a message for you. So yeah, this is all I have. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me. This is some really dope energy. If this resonated, please like, comment, subscribe. That really helps me grow my channel. Above all, keep your little heart safe, and I will see you in another reading. Okay?